manager from Malacca in the rubber factory in Malacca. I can't remember whether it was Mr. Chong, who graduated 8 years ago. He did the whole project in 45 days. At the age of late 40, he was the factory manager of the rubber factory. He has a family, he has an important position, and he has an MBA to complete. And he was the only one who completed everything in 45 days, isn't it? We interviewed him. How do you make it? He said, every night before I go to bed, I'll finish off one page. I've been telling a lot of students, but so far he's the only one managed to get it done. Every day one page. So 40 days, 40 pages. Can you look at that role model? So these are the total layout of the research proposal. Oh yes. Then we have a template here for you to follow. Yeah, we have a template for you to follow. So you can actually use that as a guide. Everything done there. Now I think I should give chance to all of you to talk. Have you all received the 5 files, Johor Bahru?
Yes.
The student from Johor, we can, when it comes to the right time, arrange for you to attend your proposal defense using Skype. And also when it comes to the colloquium, we will also encourage you to use Skype. What is meant by colloquium? Some students may not understand what is a colloquium. Colloquium is for you to actually present the progress of the work for reviewer to comment. Yeah? As you know, it's not easy for you to know your shortcomings nor mistakes. So it's good to get someone's opinion so that we will point out your mistakes before it's too late. As I said, some students are very eager to proceed with the surveying without actually checking that the questionnaire is not properly done. So that's why you need to undergo to that stage so that you will not be moving towards the wrong track or wrong direction. So even your Viva oral defense, which is necessary. So when you have your 8 chapters done and the proof, you'll be sent to external examiners. Normally it will take about 2 weeks. Once the report is back, we will forward to you and a score will be written there. So in a week's time, you are supposed to make amendment, and perhaps you can come for the Viva oral defense. So we will let you defend and do a collective adjustment after that. So normally the Viva defense will take about 15 minutes per person because you have only 10 to 15 slides. So after that, you reserve another 20 minutes for Q&A, for us to post questions. Yeah? Post questions. You'll be allowed to make amendment after that. Make amendment after that before your final submission. There's one reminder that I'd like to make. If you go through the sample table of content, your number of research question and research objective, can you go to that particular file? Your research question and research objective must be tallied. If you have 3 questions, you need to have 3 objectives, or vice versa. I've seen a lot of your seniors wasted a lot of time. 10 research questions but 3 objectives. So what happened to the 7 are not matched? Your research question and objective must be the same. Normally in the range of 3 to 5. 3 to 5. Yeah? So your problem statement, research question, research objective, these 3 will incorporate to form your GPS. You know what's GPS? The brain. Your brain of your research. Yeah? Any question? And a lot of students like to put it as 1.4 research question and straight away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's no bridging paragraph. You understand? When you have done your problem statement, the next section you have your research question, you just put question 1, 2, 3. There's no leading explanation of how does it link to your problem statement? At least you say something. At the master level, this will irritate the reader or the examiner. Like this student is speechless, you just dump the question without saying how does it link to the problem statement. Based on the discussion or the problem statement, unveil the following questions are formulated. At least you say something before you list out 1, 2, 3. You get it? And how does a question link to the objective or vice versa? You need to have a briefing statement. This will keep the reader feel very comfortable on a smooth flowing down of your thought, you see, rather than very instantaneous, there's a cut off. Yeah? So the flow of the language is also very important. Okay, now, question time. I've been saying that, but I've not heard much cases are being raised from JB or KL. Can I have at least two volunteers to talk about your possible title for IBM track? IBM track.
Huh? What was that? What again? No idea.
The turnaround strategy of Amway in Malaysia.
Do we need to put like the X variable and Y variable for that?
I can't hear, sorry.
I
Louder.
have to include like the X variable and Y variable, like independent variable and dependent variable.
As I've explained early on, if you paid attention, there are actually 3 designs. It's up to you to choose which design. Out of the 3 designs, the first one is a causal research, which will expect to have X and Y. And this is the most popular. Normally, it's around 70% of the students will choose that because you can measure it clearly. Yeah? And on top of that, there's also a descriptive research. This is normally based on case study. Student may have chosen, but if you are going to focus on that, make sure the company must be a market leader and confirmed market leader, such as AirAsia. I've seen students using AirAsia as a case study research, which have done it before. And the exploratory is when you start a totally new project which you have never done it before, so you don't have past data. So it can be also accepted as a third option. So this will be 15%, 1/5 popularity. That is 10% popularity. This is 75% popularity. So to answer your question, that is, if the student chosen second or third, then you don't have to include the X and Y. Are you clear? I can show you a complete project by another foreign student. He's a medical doctor. Running a so-called emergency unit in his country. Emergency. That is when people met accident. They went to the public hospital. There are few hundred patients queuing up. So those who are in critical condition will not have their life saved. So that has created a demand for a private emergency healthcare hospital. So he started that project. So, I mean, this is a good example. And he was looking into the quality aspect. Because quality in terms of not only good care, but also time, urgency. When people need help to save their life, you are there to help them. So the timing is important. Compared to the public, the hospital, general hospital, you have to wait for months. By then you have gone already. You can't even save your life. That is a critical condition. So I'm going to share with you hopefully I can trace it back. Okay, you see that? Are you able to read? Impact of service quality of international emergency services at the hospital there, this country.
Yangon.
Yeah. It's written by a medical doctor. We have almost 10 medical doctors doing MBA from overseas. It shows the value of the MBA program. In Malaysia, we have not seen any medical doctor doing that, but in overseas, there are quite a lot. This will give you some idea about the overall display of the project. So your listing of tables, the listing of figures are supposed to be done at the front. Introduction. You see that? That's how a problem statement can be created, you know. When readers look at this, they will feel the urgency. This is a chart showing from 2008 to 2016. The number of emergency cases, the blue line, is actually due to traffic accident. So it's increasing. Showing that there's a demand for this industry. And also the injury in farm, because of the country, they are an agricultural country. Some of the farmers get themselves injured. Yeah? And also poisoning and falling down, burns and so on. So these are on the rise in 2016, creating that there's a lot of opportunity on the healthcare. Instead of you explain a lot, you know, the real statistic will convince the reader. Customer satisfaction, yeah? Talking about the casualty treatment and so on. Research question. Do you see that the point I raised earlier on? You do not have a title of research question and straight away there must be a leading sentence or paragraph. Say. You see the point? A lot of students are lack of sensitivity. When you start the research question, you straight away pouring in the question, but there's no statement to explain. At least it's explaining that it's deriving from the 1.3. That's how the questions are being established. The bridging, even though it's one line, is good enough. It's just like when a staff came to your room, he just threw a piece of paper without saying what's the purpose. Should you sign it, or is a notice for you to read? At least you say something. Have you ever received in your office, your colleague send you an email without any note or explanation? Are you supposed to reply, or are you supposed to pay attention? Say something. That's a communication skill. Even just a little bit of that, you will let the examiner see that how responsible you are. I have seen, the reason why I'm saying that is, Last 1 week, I've seen 5 students project from your senior who did the same thing, totally no explanation, you just throw. To me, I feel it's very rude, you know. You just throw without saying what to do. Am I supposed to reply, or am I supposed to answer, or am I supposed to respond, am I supposed to pay attention? At least, no, I'm saying the way, even though it's minor, but it's important. A lot of students like to have the type a question and then put a question without explanation. You should say, where do you get this? So that we know there's a breach, you know. Because the problem statement was 1.3, this is 1.4. Due to the problem, that's how he has a question formulated here. So the linkage is important. And you see the objective, this shows the student is responsible. And based on the problem statement also, that's how the objectives are being listed here. So the bridging. Do you see that? 5 questions, 5 objectives. I've been repeating it so many times. Out of your 30 seniors, at least half of them did not show that the question and objective are tallied. As I said, some give 10 questions but only 2 objectives. So that 8 more are left standing alone. It's not matched. So the continuity is not there. Your RO and RQ must be tallied. In the range of 3 or 4 or 5. Pairs. Yeah? But not to leave any of those independently out. You see that? When you start a new chapter, it must be a fresh page, even though chapter 1 there's some space. Yeah? So you PDF it, what helps? And there's one more point that I'd like to highlight. When you have at least three authors, you can use the abbreviation.